Hello, I'm Chylli from Channel Chylli, also known as Try, and we are back with more depersonalization. Now, fair warning, it's been quite a while since I last played, so... By now you've seen that I started playing Pokemon Fire Red, and... I've actually already completed the game in a couple days, so... So yeah, I took a couple days off. Oh wait, hang on, let me fix this here. There you go, I don't have a controller right now, so no need to leave that on. Alright, let's see, where did we leave off now? Alright, it's the start of the 28th day now. Yeah, you can tell I'm kinda rusty right now. You spun Marcel by a trash can in the alley near the pub with a drunkard standing by his side. Hey there, these drinks aren't in the system yet, you can't have them right now. Stay away from me. The drunkard snatches the bottle from Marcel and is about to gulp the wine down. I haven't had my fill yet. Hey, you look familiar. Wait, you're that murderer, right? Broken out of prison? What, you trying to swipe some drinks? I'm calling the cops right now. Drink all you want. Gazing at Marcel, who has remained silent, the drunkard pours the wine over Marcel's head. Marcel stoically endures the humiliation without a word. The wine stains his hair and shirt, casting him as the supposed murderer. You decide to step in to help Marcel deal with the drunkard. Upon noticing your intention, however, Marcel stops you, giving the drunkard a patient look. Where do you live? Need my help getting back? Why should I tell you that? No one's expecting me home anyway. I'll stay here as long as I please. Nobody gives a damn about me. Nobody. And so it continues. Marcel endures the drunkard's blows at times and finds himself beside the drunkard as he weeps. 15 minutes later, the drunkard finally wanders off. Thanks for trying to help me out earlier, Marcel says as he tries to clean the drunkard's vomit off of his clothes. Are you okay? No worries, I'm already used to it. My old man was like this when he was around, so I've grown up dealing with drunkards. If you hadn't convinced Luther to get me this job, I might have ended up in a worse spot than that guy. Now that I've got this opportunity, I'm going to make the most of it. Marcel, let's get the booze moved in. And yeah, we need to clean up the basement. Sure thing. I'll get on that. Marcel and Luther enter the pub together. From Luther's expression, he knows just what happened. Honestly, I don't think there's gonna be much here, but... A middle-aged man is attempting to drown his sorrows. Tough days, huh? Tough days, yeah, tough as nails. I work at the newspaper. As you know, the economy's been dragging its feet, but the IRS, they say they're doing nothing. All they do is shove us to churn out articles to keep the townsfolk happy. It's so damn unfair. All the heat lands on us. And they reap all the rewards. The man continues to drink, looking despondent. An exhausted nurse is sipping juice here. Hey miss, are you okay? Thank you for asking, just feeling a bit overwhelmed. Is he at the hospital? Yeah, it's been a struggle lately. Lots of people coming in with unexplained injuries, and our supplies are running low. We're pulling crazy hours to restock. Seriously, it's been overwhelming. Feels like I've aged 10 years in the last few months. Can't help but feel stupid for drowning my days away. I was so stupid. Lex standing next to the bear. In the midst of a drink, upon noticing you, he appears to grasp your intent. He haunts you before you can speak. Let's talk about this in the alley outside. Lex completes his drink, stands up to leave the pub. Two newspapers for the 28th are placed in the newspaper rack, one of which is stained with some liquor. This newspaper does not carry any significant news, but the tidbits printed in the mini section catch your attention. The reporter claims that the gangs in Cursenday have been making new moves lately. Could they be about to start a new feud? Stay tuned to Cursenday Mystery Club as our reporter continues to unravel the story. Standing in the back alley of the pub, you survey the area and notice the absence of surveillance. In response, Lex takes out a tiny device and places it beside him. What's this? A signal jammer to prevent eavesdropping. Let's get straight to the point. I got a call from the hospital last night. You are the one causing all the commotion, right? Yeah, and I found something related to you. You mean the order for Devil's Breath? Exactly. Upon hearing your confession, Lex briefly pauses before releasing a soft sigh. Now that you know, I'll be honest, just like you suspected, I collaborated with Ghost Hand and assisted in the murder. This affair knew too much. Things that weren't meant for her. It's bad for the mayor, it's bad for the town. So you're a cop, but you're resorting to killing people to solve problems? It's a necessary evil. I work for Mayor Padrich. He once said, to eradicate evil, someone has to strike at its heart like a steel nail. That's why we must get close to them. We have to eliminate them, even if it means getting our hands dirty. So that's why you reached out to the gang and became a corrupt cop? Exactly. But what about Constantine and his experiments on living people in the hospital? Is that also for the town's sake? You're Your words invoke a perplexed expression from Lux. He appears unaware of what happened at the hospital. I don't understand what you're talking about. If something terrible did happen at the hospital, as you said, I'll look into it. But regardless, I don't regret what I've done. My father, he was an undercover agent planted by the gang. Many good officers died because of him at the hands of those gangsters. My family faced years of discrimination because of him. I joined the police force solely due to Padrich's backing. That's why I hold him in high regard. Assistant Constantine was also at his order. I may not fully understand Padrich's plans, but for now we need to address another problem. All of a sudden, Lux pulls out his pistol and aims it at you. My source mentioned your close ties with Ben, and he seemed to have struck a deal with them. You'd better explain yourself well, otherwise you'll see how we deal with those scoundrels. Why do you hate those gangsters so much? What the mayor and Constantine are up to is clearly worse. Is wiping out the gang more crucial than protecting Cursenday? Because they're at the heart of all crime here. Everything in Cursenday falls on them. Drugs, gambling, smuggling, all because of those gangsters. What about you? Aren't you taking bribes from the gangsters too? On the 26th, I saw you meeting a gangster outside the police station. You saw that? Whether or not you're involved with the gangsters, you should come to the police station with me now. Once things settle, I'll verify your identity and let you go. Don't do anything funny or I'll have to handle this like I do with suspects who resist arrest. You've always wanted to rid Cursenday of the gangsters, yet here you are in touch with them. Are you really corrupt, or maybe... are you planning something else? Oh shit, hang on a minute. Alright, there we go. I had to get up my thing here. Are you planning something else? You don't think I'd spill the police's strategies to an outsider, do you? Lex, with his gun aimed at you, seems to have realized something. His demeanor turns indifferent as he scans the surroundings as if searching for potential witnesses. For Bruno's sake, I shouldn't be doing this, but I'm sorry. Leading those words, Lex aims his pistol at your head, poised to pull the trigger, just as you prepare to fight back. Stop it, Lex. Bruno. Bruno suddenly appears before you, surprising both you and Lex. Bruno, how did you... We're short on time, I'll explain more about me later. As for now, Lux, please, trust my friend. Bruno, they've uncovered his identity. If the gangsters find out... Whose identity? Are you saying the gangster you met is actually an undercover cop? We've been planning this for a while and we finally sent our agent into the gang. If everything goes smoothly, we'll get rid of the gangsters in Cursenday for sure. But if things go wrong, you wouldn't want a repeat of what happened to my father, right? That's why it's hard for me to trust an outsider. If someone is willing to dig into a murder case that doesn't relate to them, And even when faced with threats, they choose to stay. I believe that person is trustworthy. Please trust me, Lux. Alright, let's hope you're right. I've overheard your conversation. What my partner said is true, Lux. The staff at Astro Hospital are indeed experimenting on humans, and it's all tied to Constantine and Padrich. Do you have solid proof? Apologies, I had to fix something there. It's all there at the hospital in the drug administration room. Once you seal off that area, you'll find everything you need. Deterred by your and Bruno's determined expressions, Lex resolve finally falters. Reflecting on the case, he carefully considers any overlooked clues. Gradually, his expression shifts to one of desperation. Don't let Padrich's influence sway you, Lex. Cursenday is in grave danger and we need your support. I'm so sorry, Bruno. I'm not sure what's the right path anymore. I can't be as open as you are, or as honest as Officer Carter. And I lack the mayor's finesse and connections. It feels as if I've been a pawn in this game. And I'm feeling so lost. Lex, I'm sorry, but I'm not the hero you think I am. I know there's always been corruption in the police force, and I know the lengths you've gone to fight the gangs. I put witnesses in danger to solve cases. There were so many things I wanted to change but couldn't, and I felt like giving up and running away. But Sheriff Carter once told me, if you believe you're doing the right thing, face the consequences. The world isn't perfect, and we're all breathing in dust. But that doesn't stop us from striving to do what's right. So, Lux, do you believe... Do what you believe is right and be honest about it. Upon hearing Bruno's words, Lex lowers his head, lost in contemplation. Eventually, he lets out a soft sigh, his tense demeanor relaxing. I've always thought I could only follow his orders, but maybe there's another way. By the way, even though Padrich approved all this, it seems he has his own agenda. I'll investigate this further. I need time to make things right. Once everything settles, I'll step down and hand myself over. Let's not dwell on the specifics for the future. Let's secure that Cursenday has a future. Do what needs to be done, and if you come across any leads, get in touch with us. Absolutely, it's a deal. Reinvigorated with newfound determination, Lex strains his disheveled attire and departs after nodding to you and Bruno. After seeing what's off, Bruno turns toward you. I know you must have tons of questions, but to be honest, I can hardly answer anything right now. Because there are things even I don't understand myself. Head to the cabin, someone's waiting for you there. As Bruno speaks, his form starts distorting and fading like a glitching TV signal. He gives you an apologetic nod and then fades away into nothingness. Bruno? Alright, now let's go on to our next area then. We are always going to check if there's anything new in this area. A distinct trail of footprints leads directly into the house as if the owner knew it clearly where they saw it. You approach the desk and notice the footprint cease right before it. Strangely, the footprints do not continue elsewhere. It feels as if the owner stood there and then vanished into thin air. This book, on the dust-covered desk, a notebook catches your eye, its surface recently cleared of dust. Picking it up, you discover it to be a diary. As you leaf through its pages, you realize the earliest entries dating back 2 decades. I couldn't bring myself to tell Lux that his father was an undercover agent sent by the gang. Padrich noticed my hesitation and took on the tough task. Lux is too young to understand what an undercover agent is. To him, we're just bastards making life hard for his mother and taking away his father's medals. While I understand that Lux and his mother may be innocent, I can't shake the hatred whenever I think about our fallen comrades because of that traitor. Let's get out of this town, Padrich. Cursenday is rotten to the core. We should find a better place to start anew. No, I want to change Cursenday. Wasn't that our dream? We made those big promises on our secret base when we were naive kids, but that stubborn guy still remembers it. No, you can't fix the problems in Cursenday. I wish you'd reconsider even a little. I always thought Padrich was a stoic, logical guy. However, he showed incredible patience and tact in dealing with Lux's situation. He handled it well and let erase some of my guilt. While many of us are thinking about leaving, he remains steadfast at his post. In the end, I couldn't keep my worries to myself and shared them. It's not just the local gang. Something is definitely wrong about the entire upper echelon of Cursenday. The corrupt old priest, the scheming director, and those businessmen pulling the strings at transportation and railroads. For us, mere police officers without strong connections, our best bet might be to leave this place for good. No, I might have found a solution. What solution? I'll sell my soul to demons. I'm a Christian, I can't even entertain that joke. Don't dwell on it, trust that God has a plan for all of us. Padrich is an atheist, but now I can't even joke with him, saying you don't believe in God, but you accept the existence of demons. As I write this, I see how weak, hypocritical, and unconvincing my words were. I'm the one who wants to run away, yet I said that to someone who's determined to stay and fight. God, can I really believe in your existence? Can I believe that the future holds anything worth looking forward to? The narrative is interrupted by a black expanse followed by entries penned decades later. Padrich reached out to me again, mentioning that Cassandra needs my help. I don't plan on turning him down. The truth is, I've made a decent amount of money these years, and it seems like a good idea to visit Cursenday. I saw Helen again. She has been by Padrich's side all these years. I also noticed significant changes in Padrich. He has transformed from a reserved, cold cop to a polished politician. I was impressed by his changes, just as he was by mine. I mean, going bald in just a decade. Helen, well, having a beautiful, mature woman like her by his side is impressive. But I vividly remember Padrich used to have the thinnest hair back in the day. What a transformation. That sleek hair he's sporting now, truly enviable. I've checked the plans. Want to go over them in detail? No need, you'll see them soon enough. Gradually, I started to understand Padrich's vision. He does need a significant amount of financial support at this stage. Despite facing strong opposition, he has boldly decided to demolish numerous old houses. He's also determined to build that luxurious Paradis hotel. Money doesn't grow on trees, and I fail to see the wisdom in constructing that hotel. I can't just stand by while Padrich wields his power for what seems to be a whim than a revitalization effort. We ended up arguing fiercely about it. I sensed his fixation, as if some unexplained obsession was driving and compelling him. In the end, Helen stepped in, clearly not wanting us to turn against each other. She suggested I pull out my investment and leave. However, maybe we're not quite at that point yet. The Padrich I knew was one to plan meticulously before making decisions. So I decided to stick around a little longer. The narrative is again interrupted by several blank pages, signaling the passage of numerous years. Helen is gone, and Padrich just can't accept that harsh reality. Like over a decade ago, I once again suggested that Padrich leave Cursenday. Without Helen's guidance, I can sense him descending into paranoia. His methods have become increasingly radical. He turned to violence to silence countless dissenters and assert control. It's clear to me now that he's no longer the righteous police officer I once knew. He's now caught in a power struggle with no way out. No, I want to talk about Helen, Padrich. Go ahead. I'm sorry about what happened to her. She's passed away, but eventually we all face the same fate alone. Maybe that's why I wish there were gods. Oh, really? Our partnership ends here and now, Padrich. I knew you were going to say that ages ago. God doesn't have anything to do for us. He just needs to exist. If there's something greater than our own existence out there, we can pretend that at the end of our journey, we'll meet this higher being instead of facing the endless void and solitude of the universe. So God, he must exist, you know? Upon finishing reading the diary, you notice that the final dozen or so pages have been torn out. Placing the diary aside, you hear footsteps from behind. Sandra. Are you alright? What happened all this time, man? Bruno. I'm okay. I'm sorry I couldn't meet you sooner. In the past few days, Sandra emits a soft sigh, hinting at the extraordinary events she has experienced in the last few days. On the night Bruno was hospitalized, I stayed at the store packing items until late. Alright, this is the last of them. Oh, is it 1 AM already? I've got to get to bed now. I need to visit Bruno tomorrow. At that moment, two figures in black robes burst through the window. Who's there? What do you want? Without uttering a word, they charged at me at an astonishing speed. Soon I was overwhelmed by their strength and on the verge of losing consciousness. Just as my vision began to fade, Bruno's face appeared in my mind. I mustn't give out now, or everything will be ruined. Perhaps my prayers summoned a miracle. The brooch I was wearing suddenly emitted a dazzling light. The radiance ignited the intruder's clothing. Then the image of Bruno being taken away flashed through my mind, and at the same time a voice in my ear confirmed that it was not an illusion. Darn it, I must hurry to the hospital. When I hurried to the hospital entrance, I saw several nurses pushing Bruno's bed out of the ICU. Just as I tried to follow, they pushed Bruno's bed into the elevator. Afterward, I searched inside the hospital for a long time. Eventually, I find those nurses again in the front of the drug administration room. Just as I was about to ask them about Bruno's condition, they eerily twisted their limbs, jumped onto the outer wall, and began climbing upward. They ascended the wall like spiders before eventually disappearing onto the roof. Soon after the nurses vanished, a hobbling man in a surgical gown emerged from the drug administration room. He left the door unlocked, and I took the opportunity to sneak inside. Bruno, wake up! I found Bruno in that room, but he did not respond no matter how hard I called out his name. Unsettled by the black-robed intruders and the monstrous nurses, I decided to take Bruno out of the hospital. I carried Bruno on my back and fled the hospital. However, on my way back, it felt as if Bruno's body was becoming heavier and heavier. By the time I realized what had happened, Bruno had stopped breathing. So did Bruno. Sandra shakes her head. She just thinks she has more to share. I was at my wit's end. Eventually, it was the lady who came to my aid. Sandra tightens her grip around the brooch in her hand. It's hard to explain what's going to happen next. I'll try to summon her. Please stay calm. Sandra, what are you doing? A poised and mature woman is standing before you. She appears out of thin air, invoking a fleeting sense of unease within you. However, her gentle smile, devoid of any malice, reassures you. You are... Please, feel free to address me as Helen or Lady Redstone. I am Sandra's mentor and Padrich's wife. I'm only able to appear like this owing to Sandra's dedication. At present, I'm draining her life force to communicate with you, so please bear with me if I keep this brief. Lady Redstone, sure, I understand. Because of the experiment at Astro Hotel, Bruno has transformed into a spiritual form. Now he has merged with the ritual site in Cursenday. That's why I need that gem, the redstone. Only with its power can I save Bruno's life. Despite the inflow of unfamiliar terms, you soon understand how to rescue Bruno owing to Lady Redstone's explanations. Eagerly you ask, where is that stone? It should still be in my house. Sandra knows where it's kept. However, there's someone extremely dangerous who's after what's in that room. Please be cautious. Lady Redstone's figure begins to distort. With a gentle nod, she gradually fades into transparency and dissipates. Sandra rises warily, her vitality seemingly sapped by Lady Redstone's appearance. Are you alright, Sandra? Yeah, I'm fine. Lady Redstone just briefed me on the situation, so we still have a chance to bring Bruno back. I won't give up. Thank you. Her residence is on the south side of town. I used to visit there often. Once you're ready, let's head there together. Well, shit, this is really bad. We seem to be at a crossroads now. We'll keep looking around before we agree to anything. The temperature in the sewer is noticeably warmer than on the surface. Yet an unexpected chill runs through you. Your instincts warn you of hidden perils lurking in the dark depths. You scan the surroundings, but notice nothing out of the ordinary. Is it just my imagination? The once turbulent sewage is slow. Despite the lingering mud, it allows for safe passage. Looks like Simon has helped shut down the sewage flow. Piles of domestic waste are stacked in the corner, surrounded by stained bandages. Looks like someone's been crashing here. A sturdy metal door stands in your path, secured by a complex lock. Checking Simon's map, you try to pinpoint your current location. Yeah, this is the place. This must be Lucifero's secret hideout. You can get the cracking tool from Simon and attach it to the door handle. With a soft click, the door swings open. Within the confined space, an array of electronic devices lie scattered, while a makeshift bed occupies one corner alongside stacks of delivery boxes. The walls are adorned with stylized graffiti, invoking the creative essence of a street artist. Inside the oil drum lie the charred remains of documents. It seems whoever set them ablaze left in a haste, leaving a few unscathed pages behind. You retrieve the remnants from the ashes. The first two titles catch your eye. Private Inspection System Planning in Cursenday and Cursenday Urbanization Reform Project. Looks like some official documents, but the contents are now illegible. Hold on a second, what's this? In the ashes, you notice a document titled Cursenday Local Network Plan. Miraculously, it's been spared from extensive damage. Sensing its significance, you extract it with caution. You briefly flip through the document titled Cursenday Local Network Plan. It features a meticulously designed table of contents and an introductory section explaining the plan's strategic importance. With the rapid development of internet technologies, Cursenday's traditional economy has encountered challenges since 2000. In response to this shift and foster economic revitalization, we have embarked on an ambitious initiative to promote comprehensive network coverage as a catalyst for societal well-being and economic resurgence. We fully acknowledge the substantial investment and time required for this endeavor to yield benefits. Despite the challenges, we remain steadfast in its commitment to secure a competitive advantage for the future. Naturally, we encounter certain opposition. Throughout this process, divergent voices within the community have raised concerns questioning the project's intent or potential intrusion into individual privacy. These reservations have impeded the project several times. Fortunately, a turning point has emerged. Mayor Padrich has successfully secured substantial funding through an agreement with a prominent entrepreneur from New York. This infusion of capital serves as a cornerstone for relaunching and advancing the project. We believe this project will foster economic recovery in Cursenday and enhancing its residents' access to network services, thereby fulfilling the objective of benefiting the populace. The last pages of the document bear handwritten annotations. As the chief architect of the Cursenday Local Network Plan, I have been seeking an innovation technology solution. When I received an ancient scroll from the Department of Engineering and Technology, I realized I had glimpsed the threshold of the future. It dawns upon me that magic truly exists. While it defies all logics and conventional perceptions, it possesses an enchanting allure. So I labored throughout the night to refine the technological blueprint, and I renamed it to the Fusion Project. To my eyes, the Fusion Project stands as the unprecedented endeavor that requires multiple ritual nodes across Cursenday. These nodes will serve as conduits bridging ancient magics with modern networks, expanding their influence throughout the areas covered by the network. I firmly believe that once this network is complete, it will herald an unprecedented revolution within Cursenday. Now we are standing at the threshold of this great vision. Despite your attempt to figure out more information about the magic circle, the section detailing its design is ruined. What are these government officials up to? Looks like something else is there. Another parchment lies within the ashes in the barrel, untouched by the flames due to its unique material. As you unfold it, the script on this parchment exudes a faint glow. You examine the ancient text and realize that it records an ancient and wicked spell out of the shell. It's a forbidden spell that frees the human soul from the body. Okay, well, that's interesting. A number of photographs are affixed to the evidence board depicting individuals spanning various ages and classes. The camera angle suggests that much of the photos were taken in secret. Among them, you notice familiar faces including Ben, Bruno, Nancy, and Adolf. Notably, the photographs of a woman is circled in red bearing the name Lady Redstone. A note under the photo sticks out reading, "Warn Ben to watch out for this woman." Oh, there's a notebook too. You discover a notebook in a folder below the crime board, which is filled with confessions but lacks any dates. I've had a messed up day, but one thing is clear. That woman next to Padrich gives me the creeps. Since she appeared, my business has been going downhill. This can't just be a coincidence. I need to investigate the background of that mysterious woman. The next entry is dated sometime later, suggesting Lucifero's discovery of crucial leads. Funny thing is, Adolf also asked me to look into her and provided a lot of information. It took me a while, but I found out she goes by the name Redstone, a name linked to the Opal Church that disappeared years ago. I might need to change my approach. Following this entry, our investigative report is dismissing several theories with a mark on the term Opal Church. Strange, everything is leading back to the Opal Church. The same creepy cult that caused a huge fire and burned all its members alive. Are there any remnants of that cult still around? You approach Lucifero's computer, an array of auxiliary equipment on her desk. Powering up the computer, you're greeted by a password prompt. I wonder if Simon's cracker will come in handy. As you connect the cracker to the computer, however, it fails to recognize the target. This leaves you perplexed. Wait, this cracker can't recognize the computer? Isn't this computer supposed to be electronic? What's going on here? You want to use her name as a password, or would she? You enter Lucifero only to be met with an incorrect password warning. Looks like you only have 2 attempts left. I'd like to try her birthday, but who knows when her birthday actually is. Oh right, there's a set of numbers in our cell phone. Tentatively, you enter the string of numbers 793215. However, you were met with the incorrect password warning once more. Now you only have 1 attempt left. A sudden realization dawns on you as you notice the icon on the computer resembling the one on a code box you discovered earlier. You realize a link between the numbers in the code box. If I convert these numbers into letters, but the words I get don't make any sense, I need to decode them after following certain patterns. As you immerse yourself in the intricate world of hacking and cryptology, a deep respect for the skill and ingenuity of the hackers takes root within you. Finally, your persistence is rewarded. The unclear encrypted numbers resolve into a coherent word. So the word for 793215 is renegade. With a hint of hesitation, you enter the password renegade. This time, it grants you access. The computer contains several logs, presumably written by Lisa Farrow. You begin reading them in chronological order. To avoid losing my memories again, I'm writing down everything about my work here. Waking up and drawing a blank on my name and tasks is beyond frustrating. Darn it, it's been a while, but that feeling from way back still lingers, forgetting my identity, my purpose, my whole existence. Once I get my memories back, that guy who messed with me will pay, mark my words. I'll steer clear of the dark net if I weren't at my wit's end. Lastly, this guy named Mr. Shore reached out saying he could help me retrieve my memories. Finally, a golden opportunity. I've uncovered the real identity of Mr. Shore. It's a man named Adolf. He seems like a big shot. If I want my memories back, I'll have to offer him something in return. Something that has a price tag. Yeah, I get it. He wants me to steal Lady Redstone's gem, but that's no walk in the park. However, once I pull off this task, my memories will return. I need to think outside the box. Normal methods won't cut it with her. I snagged some juicy government intel. I use it to blackmail Lady Redstone for the gem. But Adolf, that jerk, he backtracks and won't return my memories. That guy won't think this is the end, will he? I need to come up with another plan, but what should I do? I went to the church, but chickened out of a door. In the end, I settled for a quick prayer outside. Hopefully my prayers will be answered. This document will surely give Padrich trouble. I've decided to sell it to Ben. Once these secrets go public, Cursenday is in for a wild ride. When chaos erupts, those penny pinchers will see my true worth. As he finished reading the log, the text on the screen dissipates like mercury evaporating. Then the screen immediately turns blank and unresponsive despite your efforts. Abruptly, the code box in your possession emits an unusual vibration. You open it and find a note that reads a reward for the renegade. Oh neat, we get a free screwdriver every module. Something feels off. Upon your return to the sewer, the tranquil waters suddenly stir. Unusual bubbles surface, popping in the stillness, leaving behind an eerie silence. Instinctively, you seek shelter nearby. The ground quivers slightly as if something is moving beneath the sewage. Oh, it's Shogoth again. At first, you thought it was just a massive drifting sludge. As you chuckle at your overcautiousness, a dark otherworldly appendage suddenly emerges from the sludge. It makes a chilling snapping sound as it touches the surface. From the depths of the sewage, a colossal entity, resembling black asphalt, begins to reveal its immense form. Its surface swallowing light, the creature contorts grotesquely as it crawls across the surface. Viscous, slimy tentacles stretch out in all directions, leaving dark imprints behind. Even more horrifying are the densely packed particles clinging to its filthy exterior. Upon closer inspection of these particles, a wave of revulsion crashes over you. No, they aren't particles. They resemble schools of fish swimming through the black asphalt. It's a monster's eyes. Chylli. The creature emits a faint, nauseating sound, inducing waves of nausea and disorientation. Yet it seems unaware of your presence. As if shielded by fortune, you watch as the monster continues its journey, delving deeper into the sewers. Finally, just as you let out a sigh of relief, a sudden voice resonates from behind. Not bad for you. It's you. You draw your weapon, prepare for combat. No need to be all tense. Being on high alert won't help when you're up against me. I'm not here for a showdown, at least not yet. I know what you're looking into. But relax, I'm not making any moves just yet. Because I'm curious to see how your luck holds out. Moreover, it seems like you're onto something interesting. However, I reckon you're not quite at the whole truth yet. Luckily for you, I'm feeling generous today, so don't mind hanging around a bit longer. Well, I'm not sure about this anymore. Anyway, that is where I'm gonna leave it off for this video. So, if you made it this far, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time when we continue with more depersonalization. Until then, bye!